Hello everyone, my name is Masha and today I'm going to show you my updated bracelet collection. So I did my first bracelet collection video about a year ago, and then I did an updated one in July, around 7 months ago. So I thought it was the perfect time to make another one. And as you can see, I do have plenty of bracelets here to update you on. Now these are not all of the bracelets that I have made. I have made many more bracelets than this, but a lot of them have been given away as gifts to friends and family members. Some of them have gone to competition winners through various competitions that I have run, and some of them have gone away to my patrons, which if you want to support this channel, Patreon is a great way to do so. And as I said, I do send some of my patrons bracelets as well. There is a link in the description where you can sign up and become a patron if that is what you want to do. But as I said, these are all the bracelets that I currently have, so let's talk about them. I expect this video to be extremely long, but hopefully you guys enjoy it nonetheless, and it can be something to sort of distract you from the troubling times we are currently going through. On that note, by the way, if you want any specific bracelet tutorials or something to help keep you occupied in these uncertain times of self-isolation, let me know and I will try to film extra tutorials during this time, as I am also in self-isolation. Anyway, I will try to leave all of the patterns for these bracelets in the description down below as usual. I'm going to give each bracelet a number, and then for the corresponding number I'll try to leave a pattern. For a lot of these bracelets as well, I have made tutorials or videos on them, and I will also link those in the description as well. Alright, so in no particular chronological order, I am going to start with these ones. So these are my beautiful arrowheads. I think I did 6 of them originally. There was like a light pink one as well, but I did give that one away, I believe, to a patron. So these are the ones that I currently have, and I absolutely love this pattern. It is so simple to make. This is very beginner friendly. If you've made like a chevron or something like that before, if you're comfortable with the basic knots, this is very, very beginner friendly. And I did film a tutorial on it, which will be linked in the description, but I did these colorways and I'm very happy with all of them. They're very beautiful. On that same note, I also did a collection of these. I'm pretty sure I had a blue one as well, but I can't find it. I might have given that away to someone as well. Do not remember, to be honest. But these are so cute. I love these a lot. These are the polka dot chevrons. I also did a tutorial on this bracelet. This one as well is super easy, super beginner friendly. As you can see, it's pretty much mostly just a chevron with like a slight variation for the polka dot, which is extremely easy to do. If you've made a chevron before, I'm pretty sure you can make this as well. And I love the way that they all look. I did different colorways, as you can see, and I really like them. I'm glad I made a collection of them. I made 3 in one sitting, I believe, actually. I think I don't remember which ones, but 3 of them I did pretty much in one go. All right, next up we have this bracelet, which I did for the December challenge of the month, I believe. And I love this pattern, but I must admit I don't love the execution of this. I did do a knot with me, so you can watch the process of me creating this bracelet if you want to. But as you can see, it is very wonky, and it might not be my best work, but I do love it nonetheless. I think it's a really beautiful pattern, and I did enjoy myself while making it. I also have this bracelet, which is just, oh, I love it so much. I've never made a black and white bracelet before, so this is the first time I did that, and I love it. It's so cool, and I'm so glad I also included a metallic thread here. So you've got this silver running through the entire bracelet, which I think is super cool as well. To be fair, it is extremely difficult to work with because it is a metallic. It's just annoying, but I do like the end result as well. I did attach crimp ends here, which if you want a tutorial on that, I do have that as well, just because I didn't really know how to start or finish this bracelet otherwise. So I just started it in a straight line and did crimp ends. Oh, next up we have this one. Oh, upside down, this one. I love this one so much. I had such a good time making this. This pattern was on my to-do list forever, and I kept putting it off because I couldn't find the perfect background thread. And then I did. The background thread that I used here is the Alica Diva, which isn't necessarily a great thread for making friendship bracelets. I mean, the thickness is okay, but the change in the colors is very, very slow, so I had to sort of push it here. I needed to cut it in multiple places to sort of push the switch to come faster, but I did enjoy the end result nonetheless. This one is super cute. I love it so much. As you can see, I did get into sort of a bit of an alpha kick. You will see more alphas as I show you more of my collection. I went through a dry spell with alphas, and then I really got back into them in this past 6 months. It took a lot of practice for me though, because as you can see, like especially with this one as well, it really took me a lot of practice to get to a point where I'm happy with my alphas, and now I can say that I am. And this is one of my alphas that I'm really proud of. This was super fun to make, really really thin, which I tend to make thicker bracelets, and I don't know if you can really tell, but I used a sparkly string for the background of the black, and this is the Elitse Sal Simle, and I think it looks beautiful. In that same vein, I have this beautiful bracelet, which I made in December, I think. This is also one of the patterns that was on my to-do list for a while, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really cute. And then I have this one, which is the challenge of the month for October. It's a beautiful skeleton. I did a Knot With Me video for this one as well, so if you want to see the process of me creating this bracelet, I do have that. It's a time lapse. You can watch that if you want. The link is in the description. And as you can see, I used the sparkly grey for the bones, and I think that looks really, really cool. The sparkly grey is also Elitse Sal Simle. I love the way that it turned out. It's very, very neat, and I just generally like it a lot. Next up, we've got this one, which is the braided stitch bracelet. I made this for a tutorial. It is super beginner friendly as well, and just a cool pattern to make. As with everything else, the tutorial is linked in the description. Ooh, I made this one, which I really, really like. I kind of wanted to make a collection of these in like different colorways. The pattern itself isn't that fun to knot, if I'm being honest. You can segment knot it, but it's not as easy as other patterns. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just kind of annoying to knot, even though it looks really, really beautiful. So I ended up deciding not to go in a collection for this one, but I am very happy with the one that I made here. And the sparkly thread that I use here is, I believe, Elitse Forever Simle. Next up, we have this one. This video was Instagram chooses my bracelet, where you guys over on Instagram answered a series of polls to help me choose a pattern and colors to create a bracelet, and this is the result that came of that. Oh, this one is one of my favorites, probably in my entire collection, to be honest. I really, really like this pattern. I think it's super cool and beautiful, and this is one of those patterns that looks really, really difficult, but is actually somewhat simple to segment knot. Like, it's obviously not a beginner pattern. I would definitely not recommend this for a beginner, but if you are sort of an intermediate knotter that has done segment knotting before and you're looking for more of a challenge, this looks really difficult but isn't really. So I would recommend trying this if you want an extra kick, and also it just looks really cool. And I love the way that I did the twisted ties here with separating the colors from the black. I like it a lot. And then we have this one, which is the half and half chevron, which is extremely beginner friendly. This is probably the easiest bracelet that you can make apart from like the basic chevron, because it is pretty much the basic chevron apart from the middle knot where you reverse the string back out. If you want a more detailed tutorial, of course, I do have that available. I made a tutorial on this bracelet, but this is very, very beginner friendly and looks super cool. And also I did a half and half loop here. I also have a tutorial on that, although that is a bit tedious and not so beginner friendly. So if you are a beginner doing this, maybe don't do a loop and just tape off your string or something. But yeah, I talk about that in the actual tutorial. This one I made for the challenge of the month with my patrons. If you don't know, I make wrap-up videos every month where I show you all the bracelets that I made throughout the month, and in those videos I usually announce the challenge of the month for the next month, where we all make something together. But I also have a separate challenge of the month for my patrons who support me over on Patreon, and this was one of them for January, I think, and this is just super, super cool. I love rainbows in general, and this pattern just looks amazing in my opinion. Super fun. This is a bracelet I did for one of my random colors challenges. This is the one that I did with Alex, and I must say I don't really like the bracelet, which is why it's kind of short. I ended up not making it long, but it still was a fun challenge, so if you want to watch that video, I'll have that in the description, as with everything else. Oh, these ones are just wow. I love these so much. These ones I definitely want to make a collection. I've done the red, I've done the blue. I really want to do some other colors as well, because just I love them so much. They're so, so beautiful. The blue one turned out a little thinner and a little shorter than the other one, even though I did the exact same number of stars, I guess. But it's just because the string that I used was different, so the string is thinner, which is why the bracelet ended up thinner and shorter. But I love these. I love these so much. They're so cool. So this was a fun bracelet that I did. Kind of unusual. Very fun. I saw this pattern and I loved it, but I didn't feel the edges. The edges were just sort of black, and I was like, well, you know what? I don't want to do the edges. I'm gonna completely forget about the edges, and so I made it into a shaped bracelet instead. And I've never done this before with a pattern. I've only ever done like a circle bracelet, but this is super cool and I love it. And I also filmed a tutorial on how to do shaped bracelets if you want to. You don't even have to do sort of shapes like this. You can do any sort of shape with your bracelet, if that makes sense. And you know, as I said, I did film a tutorial, so you can watch that if you want more info, but this was super fun and I love it. And this sort of gives me like space vibes. I don't know, space and and time travel. Something like Doctor Who. I guess that's why. Doctor Who vibes, that's what it gives me. Oh, this is a bracelet that I made as well. I did this one and I also did a doubled version of that. I don't know where I put that. But yeah, this was for a video of where I teach you how to double and halve patterns. If you want to. Don't have the doubled version though, so I can't show you that. Don't know where I put it. This was also one of the challenges for the month, and it's super, super cute. I really like it a lot. Just nice and simple. This is a heart bracelet. Super simple, super beginner friendly. I did a tutorial on it, which is why I didn't make a special start here. Super cute, super fun, very beginner friendly. This one is my baby. I love it so much. I don't know, I'm genuinely in love with this bracelet. It's so cool. The string that I used here in the center is the Alice Forever Melange, and the sparkly one is the Alice Sal Simile, and I love it. It's so cool. Probably my favorite bracelet I've made at the moment. This one was a monster. This took me so long to make. It is 100 rows, or 98 if I remember correctly, and it took forever. It really took forever. And I actually filmed this in a knot with me, so you can see the entire process of me creating this in a time lapse if you want to watch that. I included a super time lapse at the end of the video as well, where you can just see the entire thing in a minute. But this really took forever. Although I do really like the design and the result. I've been wanting to make this pattern for a while, and I decided to in like Valentine's season. So yeah, go watch that video. I'm actually really proud of that. This one is a bracelet that was started by someone else, actually. If you know her, her name is Sophia. She is Das Eisherz on Instagram. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm sorry, it's German. But she sent me a package, and an unfinished bracelet was part of her package, and I finished it. And I think you can very clearly tell the point where she stopped knotting and I started, and that is here, because the bracelet shrinks up and it becomes so much more hard. Can't really pull it apart here, whereas hers is kind of stretchy, and it just goes to show how different people knot, and I find that really, really interesting. When you guys send me bracelets as well through the mail, everybody knots so different, and that's so cool to me. And this one, I actually tried to finish the bracelet without seeing the pattern first. I was trying to figure out the pattern based on the bracelet itself, so just looking at what she's done, and since the string's already arranged in the way that I'm gonna need them, I just tried to figure out the pattern as I went, and it actually went pretty well. I'm surprised because I thought it was gonna be terrible, but I actually managed to succeed and make quite a lot of this bracelet just by looking at what she did, and I did film that, and that is a video that exists in the world, and I'll link that in the description. Now this one is actually my most recent video. I did a tutorial on this one, called it the Refracted Chevron, because I had no idea what to name it, and you guys on Instagram helped me come up with a name. I think this is really, really cute. Super easy as well, very, very beginner friendly, but a nice variation on the regular chevron. This one is just, I love it so much. I love cats, and I love everything to do with cats, and when I saw this pattern, I knew I had to make it, and it's super cute. The background is an Alice Forever Melange, and the text is an Alice Sal Simile, which is like a sparkly black. Don't know how well you can see that. I made it a little bit too long. I did math correctly, so I did a video recently with like alpha bracelet hacks, which is basically like a tips and tricks video about alphas, and I taught you how to center a design, how to make sure that your design is centered in an alpha and the length is the length that you want. I did the math correctly for this bracelet, but for some reason I forgot about it. I thought I needed to do 4.5 centimeters when in fact I only needed to do 3.5 centimeters. So here is the same length as here, but it ended up being a bit too long. Well, I still like it nonetheless. This bracelet, I love this little guy. You may have seen another one of these that I made previously, which is this guy, and I made this for a tutorial. But then I found out that there's a different technique of making alpha bracelets that, in my opinion, is better because it makes your alphas look flat and they're not bumpy at all. All the colors lay flat, whereas here they are bumpy and sort of stick out of the bracelet. So I decided to film another tutorial on how to make alphas, and I remade the exact same pattern, and I now realized that upside down. So this is the new one, and I like it more, in my opinion. I like this technique more. This is what I use now to make my alpha bracelets. Next up we have this one. I really like the color scheme that I made with this one. It's sort of a pastel muted colors type of situation, and I really, really like it. This is the Checkers bracelet, which is somewhat beginner friendly, but I'd classify this more as a little bit advanced, but still in the beginner / advanced range. I did a tutorial on this one as well if you want to check it out. It's super fun. I like it a lot. We're getting close to the end now. This is the second to last. This bracelet was a weird one for me. If you want to watch the entire process, I actually vlogged the creation of this bracelet sort of from the initial idea that I had to making the entire bracelet and then taking pictures for it. In the video I talk about how I take my pictures for Instagram, since that is a question that I get asked a lot. And you will see in the video itself that I had no idea what the colors are going to look like before I started making it, which is a situation quite common for me. I never know what my colors are going to end up looking like in the bracelet. And going into it, I envisioned something completely different. I thought it was going to look very different to how it actually turned out looking. But I am pretty happy with how it turned out anyway. I think this pattern is kind of a mess, if I'm being honest. It's very weird, but it's a beautiful mess, nonetheless. And last but not least, probably the most popular bracelet for a while is this one. The video that I made for TikTok of this bracelet kind of went viral. It has like 500,000 views on it, which is something that I've never gotten on TikTok before, so that was kind of entertaining. And if you didn't know, I do have a TikTok on which I occasionally post bracelet stuff, but I really loved this bracelet. I had such a fun time creating it. This is super easy, by the way. This is probably the easiest alpha you'll ever make. It's really easy, and I did make a tutorial on this as well. I did make it a little bit too short in my opinion, but that was kind of my mistake. I'm still happy with it. I think it looks really beautiful. And you don't have to make it a rainbow if you don't want to. You can use any sort of colorway. I just decided to go with a rainbow. Before I go, let me show you some of the bracelets that I've also made in the past 6 months, but I have sent away. I guess that's it. I must have forgotten at least 1 or 2 bracelets, but this is all I have for you guys today. As I did say before, of course, we are going through some uncertain times at the moment. I personally am self-isolating at the moment because, as some of you may have noticed, I didn't post anything for the past week, and the reason for that was because I was actually kind of sick this past week. Now, I don't necessarily think I was coming down with anything serious, but I did feel sick for a while, and since I do have some of the symptoms, I did decide to self-isolate just in case it is what it is. I know that a lot of you guys are isolated as well, which can be a very tough time. So as I mentioned before, if you do have any requests for videos, whether that is tutorials specifically to help keep you occupied, or maybe just some other fun entertainment videos that you want to see, maybe you want to see me try some challenges or something, let me know in the comments and I will try to do as much as I can. In any case, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and before I go, I want to give a special shout out to my patrons who support me so much and who have been such a great help to me, and especially now when we're going through these uncertain times as well. My patrons have really been a great help to me, so I'm super grateful. And especially my top supporters, who are Zoe, Simon, Tia, Izzy, Jocelyn, Misty, Sydney, Lara, Anna, Gretchen, and Izzy. A huge, genuine thank you to you guys, and to everyone else who also supports me in any way, and that is also by just watching my videos. Alright, I think I've talked enough for today. I try to post videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays, sometimes on bonus days as well. I also have a second channel where I post other random stuff. Recently I posted a video about my long distance relationship with my husband and what kind of gifts I give him sometimes, but also just random life stuff as well. So I'd love to see you guys over there as well, and I will see you next time. Bye!